Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Two Nerds, One Quest. I am your host and DM, JC, here with two nerds this time because we might have gotten the math right. One, Ryan Crixus-Kukta, he is out on vacation, so we are bringing you a special Halloween-themed one-shot. That man air drumming right there on the ones and twos is one Tom M. Norman playing... Who are you playing this morning, sir?
I am Bophadese nuts at your service.
Bophadese. Nice. Dragonborn Ranger, level 3. That other man chuckling with me is the legend, the lore master, the limerick maker. Jeff Oscar Williams?
Yes, Oscar the Herringon from the new Witchlight book. So, yes. No, I'm shaking my head at, of all of the pronunciations for that character, that is not what I would have thought Norm was going for. So,
But I wouldn't expect anything less out of...
No, that's true. That's true.
The funny thing is, it's a Dragonborn, and I'm not sure they have nuts. So...
Yeah.
Big and dangly.
It works, though. It works, though. Well, without a recap to get to, and without a limerick, why don't you both give me the elevator pitch for your character? What is your character? We'll start with Norm.
All right. So Bophadese is a Dragonborn. He's a black Dragonborn, so he has a acid that he can spit out. He is a ranger who has grown up in a ranger family. It goes back generations. His dad was a ranger, his grandpa was a ranger, and it's kind of the family tradition. He does not like it. He doesn't like hunting. He doesn't like animals. He doesn't like gutting and killing things and hunting. But he does it because it's the family tradition. So he doesn't. He would rather stay at the motel, no-tel, hotel than camp.
Say what?
Yeah. So he is
awesome.
Yep. So he is a ranger who does not like rangering.
He's a city boy.
He's
a city boy.
He doesn't
ranger.
even know if he's a city boy. He's never, he's
been to the city.
Yeah. He goes to towns when he has to trade and when he has to, buy supplies and. Yeah. He's not a fan of animals. He's not a fan of hunting. He's not a fan of the nature.
Fantastic.
But he's really good at it.
Nice. All right. Jeff, you want to tell us a little bit about Oscar?
Sure. Oscar was unfortunate urchin on the streets, was picked up by someone from a wizard's guild, tower, something or other, brotherhood of some kind, as an assistant, and basically did the dirty work, observations, and was occasionally a test subject while things were going on. And as things usually do go in D&D and that kind of an adventure, there was an accident and he was left without a master, and the accident left him infused with a wild type of magic. So while he was not necessarily good in the studies, he's stuck with some powers that he wasn't necessarily looking for. The rest of the Brotherhood saw him as a liability and said, yeah, you can't stay with us anymore. Go head out on your own. So he's out doing things on his own with magic that he doesn't really quite understand.
Perfect.
Hey, genius.
Both of those characters are so good.
Would you say he's more Spider-Man or more Toxic Avenger?
Probably. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe an early Spider-Man, because he doesn't know all of the powers that he controls, and sometimes just randomly things happen he doesn't know about. As far as description, he pretty much, wears a vest. It's kind of fancy, like you would expect from someone wizarding or sorcering. No pocket watch. He does wear pants, but only because it's kind of, courteous to wear pants around people. But as a rabbit, he's got fur that covers most. He's all gray with one of his ears has is missing the tip because of frostburn or frostbite, whatever, freezer burn, And he has a white.
Freezer burn. One of the wizards
he's
threw him in the freezer to see how long he lasts.
I hate it when my rabbit gets freezer burned.
Keep that fresh. That's a little too long. And he's got a white goatee, essentially, or white fur around his mouth that looks like a goatee.
All right. Most excellent. My favorite thing about this is you guys assume you have clothes right now.
Crazy Cooch in the chat says, "No pants rabbit pulls human out of hat."
All right. So, Norm, you want to hit me with that creepy music?
I will
Get us away
attempt.
from this rock and roll.
Let's see here.
That'll work.
Let me know if it's too loud in the chat, guys.
The first thing that you sense, Bophadese, you hear it, the sound of liquid dripping. Just drip, drip, drip. The unwelcome, musty smell fills your nostrils, and you feel slight pain around your wrists as you realize both your arms are elevated above your head. You try and shift to get more comfortable and feel the cobblestones on your back, the chains and shackles around your wrists. And then you hear it like an oversized clock. Click. 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 You open your eyes and your vision kind of settles in. As you look around you, you can see the closest thing to you is a meat cleaver. Just out of reach of your ankle. You might be able to get it. Laying on this dirty floor. Next to you in chains is a small rabbit of some sort. His ears have been pinned together with a stake and bolted together with bolts and screws, and there's blood running down them. And he's kind of hanging by them on a little peg. His hands are shackled behind him and his feet are shackled below him. He seems unconscious at the moment. That clicking, you realize, is a giant pendulum that's swinging back and forth, and each time it clicks, it's lowering towards a large granite slab in the middle of the room that has a body on it, a feminine body on it of some sort. Oscar, you shift, and the pain in your ears jolts you awake violently. You realize you are bound and hanging by your ears in a musty dungeon. You hear that same click and see the pendulum before you swinging. To the right of you, Oscar, you hear a muffled and at the sound, the two of you turn to look, and there's a human, young 18 maybe, missing a large section of his head. And you can actually see exposed brain in there. But he's still moving. He kind of turns and cocks his head to the side, his arms bound up along the line. He says, "Help her!" Click. You notice that scythe swinging back and forth over the table. Lower. In a minute or two, that's going to be cutting into her body.
Well, because I have strength now, are my feet on the ground?
Yeah, your butt's on the ground.
Oh, okay. I'm going to try to pull forward to see if I can pull the chain out of the wall.
Okay.
Because I have strength. I'm going to be good at this.
Give me a strength check to try and pull yourself out of the wall.
times you choose not to take Misty Step.
21.
21. Let me do this once. Oh, this is going to say you rolled it. Crap, I got to pull up something else. Pull up dice. Because I don't want to be rolling on your guys' characters. Let me pull someone else up here. 21's really good. You're going to... Something's going to happen. I just got to figure out what. So, as you pull, the chains don't give way at all. I should say, you get one hand free pulling on it. The chains don't give, you get one hand free, but in getting your hand free, the shackle doesn't break. You pull part of the skin of your hand off as you pull it out of the shackle. And you have one hand free, but it's missing several of the scales right by your thumb, and it's bleeding profusely. Can you roll a d4 for me?
Three.
You have done 3 points of slashing damage to yourself, trying to pull yourself out of your shackles. You do have one arm free now. You think you can actually reach this meat cleaver now.
All right. I'm going to reach for the meat cleaver.
You got it. You have a meat cleaver. You can mark that as a hand axe in your inventory if you'd like.
All right. And then I'm going to stand up and smash my chain to get my other arm free.
Where are you smashing the chain? Close to your hand, or you're smashing it close to the wall?
Close to the wall.
Okay, go ahead. Oscar, while he's rolling, is there anything you'd like to try and do?
Yeah, I think you'd try to wiggle his hands out of the chains, if possible.
Make a dexterity check to try and wiggle out of them.
Oops. I might have clicked it twice, so 15.
15. You start wiggling your hands, and you're wriggling them, and the fact that they are not made for a herringon, you being a kind of strange race to these parts, you actually wiggle your wrists free. You get both your hands free. You're still hanging by your ears, and you cannot touch the ground. You don't have anything on the ground. What your roll is a 19?
I got a 19, yeah. I did an attack roll. I'm assuming that's what you wanted.
Yep. Yeah, you would have hit. Go ahead and give me some damage from that as you swing at this rusty chain. You hear another click. The chain, you snap the chain, it breaks, it comes off the wall. It's more the rock that let loose. Your pull earlier loosened it somewhat. But it did not give entirely. Again, the guy sitting next to you, good, help her. And he's kind of slurring. It's weird because you can tell that the part of his brain that's missing is affecting some of his speaking. He seems, looking at him, he's in his hand, he's got a finger. Not one of his, but a finger clutched in it. And your vision getting better. You can see there are body parts around this room in various places.
So, question: Do either of us recognize each other or anyone else in the room from past history, or is this just new to all of us?
Bophadese, you actually recognize Oscar because he was what you were hunting. You recognized you had lined up and you thought it was just a rabbit that you were going after, but he did something very humanistic, something rabbits don't do. And the fact that he was at the time wearing some pants and a coat, it was like when you took the thing, you thought the wizard that gave you the bounty was off his rocker, telling you to find a rabbit with pants and coat. And you found him though, and right at the moment you were about to shoot, the last thing you remember is getting clubbed over the back of the head.
How tall are you, Genius? How tall is Oscar?
I had initially said a medium creature because you can choose between medium or small, I think. But I'm up for anything really. Tall enough to see over a tabletop at least, but
a little bit larger than like a wild hare, like one of those big fucking wild hares that's like the size of a big dog. Yeah, it's a little larger than that.
I'd be at the top at the Guinness Book of World Records for real rabbits in the human world here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna, after I get my hand free, I'm gonna kind of double take at Oscar. Just
you see him. He's wiggled his hands out and he's kind of trying to assess the situation. He seems to be in pain, hanging from his ears.
What are we doing here?
I'm gonna tell him, don't move. I'll help
Click.
you in a second. I'm gonna go over to the table and
Click.
Is it ropes or is it chains or how is she held?
She is chained. She is chained to the table.
All right, I'm going
And the
to.
pendulum is
The pendulum
a
is
rope.
no, that is a big steel pendulum. Think Pit and the Pendulum. This is what's going on here. The thing
How
keeps
close
getting
is-
slower.
How close is it to her?
About 6 inches. It was
Alright.
about a foot when we started.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and try to break the chains off her arms
Okay, you're gonna try and break them with the
with the axe.
cleaver.
Yep.
Okay. She is not moving at all. She
6.
seems unconscious.
Doesn't look good.
You missed the first time. And
Can I-
23-second shot.
yep. You're able to smack the ones on her hands.
Can I feel for the pin in my ears and see if there's a way to disconnect it? Or
You feel for the pin in your ears. You could disconnect it. It's like a nut and a bolt with some washers there that are holding you up on that pin. It hurts as you reach and struggle. It's the thing that's holding you up off the floor, and it is excruciating.
glad I had a little training in this. In pain management. I will do my best to try to manipulate it and try to get it to come off.
Okay, give me a dexterity. Actually, give me a Constitution saving throw first. As you're rolling that, both of these, you got the chain that was holding her wrists loose. She is chained at her feet, and you have this pendulum to deal with too. You could probably get her out from underneath the pendulum, but you're going to have to be very careful that pendulum doesn't hit you or her.
Yeah,
It is
don't
about-
roll her.
It is about 3 feet wide, and it looks incredibly heavy. What was your Constitution saving throw?
7.
7. You go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw then. Or dexterity. Yeah, saving throw. I'll let it be a saving throw.
It's okay. 17.
17. You start untwisting it, and you feel like you're making progress, but it is so painful that it's shooting down your ears into your head, and you black out for a moment, and your arms fall to your sides. What are you attempting to do, Bophadese?
I'm going to pull her. Were her arms above her head, or were they?
They were above her head, and her feet are tied. She was basically stretched out
All right.
like a toothpick.
So as it swings one way, I'm going to go to her side, so I wouldn't be in the way of the pendulum.
Yep.
And then when it swings back out again, I'm going to yank her off of the table.
Okay. Make a dexterity saving throw as you go to do this.
4.
4.
Uh-oh. Can assuming something bad is going to happen, can I, if I'm awake enough, can I cast a spell that does not require a material component?
You are blacked out right now.
Okay.
Bo, you grab her body and time this, and you pull her down, and she kind of falls off the side of it, and there's a sickening snap as her leg snaps, cracks, as the chain's still binding her onto the table. That hits your legs, and you stumble backwards a little bit, and in the time you're trying to get away from her body, that pendulum comes back through and slashes you just above the shoulder. Roll a d6 for me.
God, I'm going to die before I get a chance to do anything.
Par for the
You're
course,
doing
right?
a lot right now.
1.
You able to kind of duck away from it and just nicks you, and you take 1 point of slashing damage. And then you're able to drop as the pendulum comes back over your head. The guy on the ground is careful.
I'm just going to glance over my shoulder like,
sister. And that's the first thing you hear, Oscar, as you come back to, is him saying sister. What would you like to do, Oscar?
Very disoriented, not wanting pain. Gonna go back for the bolt in the ears. I gotta stop that.
Okay, give me that dexterity check again. Actually, save, sure.
It's the same for both.
Same?
So
Okay.
Only a 7 this time.
Only a 7. That seems stuck. You got it. You're spinning it. The pain has stopped, primarily because you can't move the bolt. You can't loosen it any further, so it's not turning against your ears where the blood is kind of clotted and it would pull on your ear. It's fairly lubricated now with the blood. Bo, when you turn around and look at him, there is more blood just running down his face from his ears. He seems to be struggling trying to get the bolt out of his ears. Do you want to help him at all, or do you want to continue to help the girl?
I'm going to continue to help her, and then I'll worry about him, because, I mean, he's not going anywhere, so it's...
Okay, fair enough. What do you do to help the girl?
I'm going to break the chain at her feet.
Okay. Go ahead and break the chain at her feet.
14?
14, yes. You are able to hit that chain that right where it's supported. The chains aren't actually coming off. Mm-hmm. The shackles aren't coming off, so her wrists are still together and her feet are still together, but you've broken both the chains on the table and are able to take her off the table completely. Her leg between her knee and her ankle is like gross. Snap. Like that, where it snapped when you pulled her off the table.
Compound sticking out.
Roll a d4 for me.
2.
No, it did not pierce the skin. It's pushing against it pretty hard, but it did not pierce the skin.
All right, so
but it looks unsettling.
You're gonna have to help me with spells here. So I have 4 spells.
Okay.
Actually, I have 3 spells, and I have my... Oh, I forgot about my fairy swarm.
You got your spells.
So if I do Cure Wounds...
Yep.
That is a spell?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. And if it's C, it's cantrip?
It is Mage Hand is your only cantrip.
Yep, Mage Hand is your only cantrip.
I see.
Cure Wounds, where are you seeing the C on Cure Wounds?
Oh, I think it's concentration. Never mind.
Yeah, the Fairy Fire, Hail of Thorns, and Zephyr Strike, that diamond with the C in them are all concentration. Cure Wounds is not one of those.
Okay.
Which means you can't maintain more than 2 concentration spells at once. And then anytime you take damage, you have to roll a concentration save to maintain the spell.
Okay.
Okay?
So I will need many of reminders.
And remember, you don't get your slots back until you sleep, so you get
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
slots for the
Spells.
day.
I know. But she's got a broken leg. And I am the type
Is
of
she-
person that would help her, so.
Is she alive? Is she conscious? Is she breathing?
She's breathing. She's breathing.
Okay,
She's not
that's
conscious.
good.
Alright, so I'm going to do Cure 1's first level on her.
Cure wounds, first level on her. All right, go ahead and roll your...
Sweet.
And then make sure you mark off your spell slot.
This will
If
be
you click
interesting.
cast, it does it.
5.
Okay, so you...
There you go.
5. You kind of take both pieces of her leg and kind of hold them together and cast Cure Wounds. And it doesn't... She takes 5 points of healing. It seems to take, and her leg doesn't seem to wiggle in that space where it shouldn't anymore.
Apologize to all the squeamish fans out there.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
That was a good one.
this is... Yeah.
Oh
So-
no. You wanted to unsettle us. I'm unsettled.
I was going to say, I hope you already are. What would you like to do?
I'm
You're
gonna
still working
continue
your
to
ears?
try to get the pin. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, take your
Oops.
dexterity roll to do that.
Come on. 18.
18. Start spinning, and with a thud, you fall to the ground as it lets loose. It pulls on your ear a little bit and hurts, but you hit the floor, and your feet are still shackled together. In what unsettlingly looks like a pair of shackles made for a child. The man next to you, he says, take. And he's like holding out. He's got both his hands, they're shackled together. Almost like whoever shackled him wasn't worried about him having access to his hands, really.
Mm-hmm.
But he's holding out this severed finger to you.
I will take it, I guess.
He says, Spirit, sister, Spirit, cleric. And he's holding it out. Roll an insight check.
Come on, I need something good. It's a 5.
It's a 5. You have no fucking clue what he's talking about. You take the finger from him, but it makes no sense to you whatsoever. You think he's just speaking gibberish. He looks at you and sees that you aren't getting it at all, and he kind of... save her. Spirit. He's trying to get Bo's attention at this point. He's kicking his feet kind of towards you, and a rock kind of rolls and bumps into you, gets your attention.
Well, after I fixed her leg, I would stand up and go over to Oscar and I would look at the shit in his ears and try to get him down.
The shit in his head?
Yeah.
You start examining his head, and you realize he's missing half his brain. Like
No,
someone
I'm
didn't
talking
want
about,
him.
I'm talking about Oscar.
The other guy.
Oh, Oscar. You're checking his
Yeah.
ears? Okay.
Oscar's on the ground now.
It looks like someone took
Oh,
a
I missed that.
drill and drilled through Oscar's ears to hang him up and pin him. He's bleeding. The bleeding it's coagulating. It's mixing with the fur and making a fairly decent clot. He's still bound at the ankles, but he seems to be conscious, if a little weak.
How are his ankles? Are they
They're
shackles?
bound-
Or are they?
Yeah, with a set of shackles that look like creepily look like they're made for a child.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to wriggle out of them like I did the hands
Okay.
and see.
You gonna try and help him at all, Bo?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to
You
manipulate
can have
his.
advantage on it.
Yeah.
Okay. It's either 14 or something that's underneath the 14, so 14's a higher.
14. Working at it together and working at it, you scrape the back of your ankle, taking a point of damage as you do it. But you are able to wriggle out of them. You are both, quote unquote, free. Well, actually, your ankles are still bound, Bo. You got your wrists out, but your ankles are still bound together.
So I was hopping around.
Yeah. That might explain why you got slashed with the pendulum, which is still rocking and moving closer to the table. It's about 4 inches off the table now.
Yeah,
And at this point, you hear a like groan or something from another room, like a really low rumbling, like, and there's a whack, almost like a massive axe or something hitting a table. Whack! It's off in the distance in another room somewhere.
Does it seem rhythmic or random?
It seems random.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a whack at the ankle, my shackles on my feet with the axe.
Okay. Go ahead.
How's the light in the room?
Dim. There's some torches on the wall. Two or
I
three.
suppose...
You can see doors on the opposite side. There's a massive granite slab. The room's 25 by 20 or so. Looking around the room, make a perception check.
I was gonna say, do we have clothes, equipment, anything? Is my wand anywhere? My wooden carrot wand? Did you say investigation or perception?
Well, if you're going to start looking around the room for stuff like this, it'd be investigation.
Okay, yeah. 4.
4. You don't find much of anything.
Okay, well, without my wand, I can't cast light, unfortunately, but I can create bonfire. So I will create a bonfire on the table to light up the room.
Okay. The room brightens suddenly, giving you ample light to strike at your shackles on your ankles, Bo, and you hit them and they set loose. Not loose, they're still on your ankles, but you're able to crack them in two so that you can walk around. There's a little bit of chain hanging from them. You are not going to be able to sneak anywhere without disadvantage. Unless you can get them off somehow.
I got a 19 on my ankle swipe, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I was just describing.
Oh, I thought you were talking...
I said Bo. No,
oh.
the light that Oscar created allowed you to hit right in between your shackles, separating your legs.
Yeah.
So your legs are free to move independently, but you still have the shackles on with a little bit of chain that is going to give you disadvantage on stealth rolls.
Yeah, and that's my bad.
Unless you can find a way to remove it.
Messing with something.
It's all good. You're messing with a lot of dials over there.
Are we dressed? Are we anything?
No. You got the equivalent of a loincloth or underwear on, basically.
Okay, well, mine's fur, so...
Yeah.
I'm scaly.
The walls of this place, as you look around, are kind of sweating. It's damp and cold and musty down here.
So what kind of lock, or how are the shackles? Like, is it just like one of those clamp things that you see where it's like the...
It's clamped and there's pins with like a lock in there.
Is there a door to the room?
There's 2 of them. From where you were chained on the north wall, looking at the south wall, there's one to the southwest and one to the southeast. The one to the southeast is in the corner. The very corner of the room. And the one to the southwest is kind of in the middle of the wall. And the sound seemed to come through the door from the southeast.
I'm going to take... Is it one of those types of hand axes where it's like flat on one end and hatchet like on the other end? Or is it...
It's a meat cleaver. It just has the stats of a hand axe.
Okay. I'm going to...
Do you want to look around the room?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I'm going to
Go ahead and make an investigation check. Oscar looked, he couldn't figure it
out.
He was looking in the dark, too.
That's true.
I'll give you advantage on it, too, because of the bonfire that Oscar created.
Good.
I see that roll. You was very
12,
good.
12.
12. Okay, there's a couple of things you find. The first thing is a hand crossbow. It has one bolt with it. There is a ice pick that is sitting on the granite slab that you did not see before because your concern was to remove the girl from the slab.
Excuse me, rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know how to pick locks?
Sure.
Do you actually?
He said sure. He said, unless you're asking him, do you actually?
Yeah, I am.
I can try.
What's your sleight of hand?
2.
All right, mine's 0.
That's not a question.
I mean,
That's a question I asked.
what is your how good are you with tools lockpicking?
Here, I'm gonna throw him the ice pick and say, if you can pick locks, get these off of me if you can.
is this if you can dodge an ice pack, you can pick a ice pick, you can pick a lock?
Something like that.
Make a dexterity saving throw to catch the ice pick.
Oh no, I'm not gonna try to catch it. I would just move out of the way.
Okay.
Natural one. You took the ice.
At me.
You took the ice pick in the eye.
It's probably going to suck anyway, but seriously, everything is falling underneath that one. Yeah, it's a natural one.
A nat 1. So you stick the ice pick in there, and
No, this was for catching it.
oh, for catching it? Oh, you were gonna try and catch it?
Well, I was trying to get out of the way when
Oh,
he
you're
threw
trying
it.
to get out. Okay. Go ahead and take 1 point of bludgeoning damage as the handle hits you, bonks you in the head. And you're glad you didn't actually catch the pointed end of it.
I thought 17 hit points was low. Now I have 15. All right. So this is sleight of hand for.
Mhm. Sleight of hand to try and pop these locks off is
You can do it.
5.
Oh, you cannot do
5.
it.
No, I should change my dice out again.
In the moment you're leery of what's going on, the sound from the other room, you just can't focus, and you actually manage to snap the ice pick off in the lock. So the ice pick is broken, and you have the one cuff is just completely jammed. You probably will not be able to pick that one. It's broken now. Oh, burn.
Oh wait, I took a point of damage. Hold on, I gotta see if the bonfire is still up. Still up.
Excellent.
Barely.
Both make an insight check as you hear the guy yelling from the side or moaning.
3.
3. He wants you to help her. He's saying something about spirit, and the finger is apparently important. You have no clue. Actually, you don't even know about the finger. Only Oscar knows about the finger because it's in his possession.
So,
now, you can put that in your possession if you want.
I hope I don't have to, because hopefully it won't be there too long. Can I go over and look at her and see if she's missing a finger?
Yeah. You can go over and
Is she
look.
missing a finger?
Nope, she's got all her digits.
Okay. Yeah, my insight was low, so I'm still not figuring it out, even me personally.
Yep. He kind of takes his hands and just kind of points, like with his thumbs, points at himself. Column. And then he points at his sister. Sister. Claudia. Claudia.
So that's Claudia.
Save her.
All right.
Make an Arcana check, Oscar.
I got a +2 on these, so
Yeah, you've been being part of lab experiments and stuff.
So, 3,
3.
This is going well.
which is a natural 1 plus 2.
You start thinking about, you are not going to survive this.
No, yeah, that's
Or
probably my
you
only
might,
thought
and you
is,
just might.
I've seen rooms
Yeah.
like this. I know what happens in rooms like this.
Yeah.
We need to get out of this, and that's my only concern.
All right.
Can I check and see if the doors are locked?
Yep, you absolutely can. Neither
All
one
right.
of them are locked. You grab the one has a knob that you turn and it turns, and the other one has a push button, and both of them just crack open just a little bit when you do that. When you crack open the one on the southwest, that's kind of in the middle of the wall, you hear a flood of whispers. And that room is pitch black.
That doesn't sound good.
What you can see from this little sliver of light that pours into that room, there are several decomposed body parts along the way, and you see some slimy thing kind of move over a little bit of one.
Well, now I know what's behind door number 1. Let's try door number 2.
Do you close door number 1?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You creak open door number 2. And you see the source of this grunting and thwacking. This room is more well lit. There's more torches along the wall, and on the far side of the wall, there's a large bench and this ogre-looking beastly guy with this massive cleaver in his hand. And he's hacking up the body of something over there. Hanging from some of the hooks nearby him on the wall are different tools and stuff. There's saws and cleavers and screws, items like that. And then there's some chains hanging from the ceiling nearby. And he takes a big slab of like a rib cage or something and just hangs it on that hook from the wall. Let's see. Can you roll a stealth check for me? Oh, I rolled that on Bo. Ha! That's funny. Let me roll that elsewhere. Actually, roll a stealth check. He goes, and kind of turns and looks. And goes, and sees you, and he starts moving towards the door with this massive cleaver. Kind of lumbering, hobbling.
I will close the door.
Okay.
And hop backwards onto the other side of the table, staying below the blade swinging back and forth, and I will just say, "Hey, guy, we've got company."
You hear the big, massive footsteps, Bo, as the boom, 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 and then there's a big fist on the door, and the door slams open. I want you guys to roll initiative. This guy does not... One thing, based on the sound you heard... Oh, I can't roll that here. I gotta roll it elsewhere. Otherwise it shows up as Bo's roll.
5.
17.
Okay. He bangs in on the door. And he moves into the room, and he's just out of reach. He can get right to where you are, Bo. You guys are both on the back side of the table near Callum. He could swing, but he's not going to hit you, and he does exactly that. He swings, and it does not connect with you. He could only move about 15 feet on this turn. He's very, very slow. But he's massive. Go ahead, Oscar. What would you like to do?
This guy looks threatening, and thankfully I picked a spell that does not require material components. I'm going to cast Chaos Bolt at him.
Okay.
11 to hit.
11? 11 hits him.
Oh, goodness.
Oh.
Okay. So this is a weird spell. I roll 2d8 for 2d8 plus 1d6 for damage. If the 2d8s match, it jumps to an additional target.
Uh-oh,
So
shit. Uh-oh.
so we'll see what happens.
I don't like this spell at
It
all.
is two ones, so it's going to jump. All right, hold on. Let me roll the d6.
What
Okay.
are you doing?
So it's 2 plus 5 is 7 damage. Let me make sure I got the language of this. So it's acid damage because it was a 1. And if the chaotic energy leaps from the target to a different creature of my choice within 30 feet of it, make a new attack roll against the new target and make a new damage roll, which could cause it to leap again.
Is it may or it does?
If you rolled both the same number, there is no may, there is no.
So
I just
it
get to
has to
choose.
jump to. You get to choose the new target. Okay, so there are 4 other targets it could jump to: you, Bo, Callum, or Claudia.
I don't know enough about Claudia, and Callum seems more interested in Claudia surviving, so I'm gonna have to go with Callum.
Okay.
So I don't know what his AC might be, but it is a 16 to hit.
16 hits him for sure. Especially considering he's kind of tied up.
Okay. 9 points of. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I got to roll a d6 here. It's weird that it doesn't let you roll the d6 at the same time. 9 plus 4, so 13 damage, and the damage type is either a 1 or an 8. So, oops. I'll go with acid damage because thunder would be noisy.
Acid damage. So that comes around and that hits. It bounces off. Hardly seems to do anything to this ogre. Which you now realize as you look at it, there's parts of his flesh that are open, revealing his muscles. His rib cage is kind of open, and you can see some of his intestines just kind of hanging out there beyond his pelvic region there. Actually, yeah, it looks really very gross. He's dripping. It's not blood. It's like rotten refuse coming off of it.
Zombie ooze.
No,
exactly.
For the DM's knowledge, as a wild magic sorcerer and casting a level 1 or higher spell, there is if you so choose, you can have me roll on the wild magic chart.
Would you like to roll on the wild magic? How does that work again? Say that again.
So anytime I cast a spell of first level or higher,
Okay.
the DM can choose to have me roll on the wild magic chart. Is how it works.
In this moment, yeah, I will. I will have you roll on the wild magic chart because this is a panic moment.
Yeah.
So there isn't a lot that would hold it. It's 100.
It's a D100, and there's 50
D100
things that can happen.
Yeah. Callum takes the damage and becomes a very quiet. Part of his brain kind of blows off to the side, and a bit of his skull flakes off, and he wasn't looking good before. You think there might have been something magical sustaining him. There is not much sustaining him anymore. He looks very, very poor.
All right, and as the dice tell the story, 67 means I am frightened by the nearest creature until the end of my next turn.
That would be the nearest creature to you would be Bo.
Okay, I will use my movement to run away from everybody, I guess, and run to the corner.
Okay, so you'd run around the table. You run around the table to the southwest corner. You're about 5-10 feet from that door you cracked open before that you ended up closing all the whispers coming from.
All right, I think that is all I can do. I don't think I have any bonus actions that help me, so yep. Done.
All right, that moves us on to Bophadese. What would you like to do, sir?
So there's still space in between me and Ogre Guy, right?
Yep, there's a 5-foot gap between you guys.
The table is not between us, I'm assuming, so I am going to...
Correct, the table's to your right as you face him. The door is he's between you and the door. You could go around the table one direction and head towards that door that he came through, or you could head through the door the other direction.
I am going to go on to the other side of the table.
If you double moved, you could get through the door he came through and avoid taking an AO from him.
Because
freak the shit out of Oscar here, though.
I don't run from battles when people are in danger. That's kind of my, like, I am a helper.
You've been trained.
So I am going to take the hand crossbow since I'm on the other side of the table.
It's a light crossbow, not a hand crossbow.
Light crossbow.
Mm-hmm. So it'll take both your hands. It's a two-handed thing.
Shit. I thought you said hand crossbow. Alright. So I should probably...
You are proficient in them, thankfully.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to get rid of that in my inventory. So I'd have to drop the hand axe then, wouldn't I?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I can stow it anywhere. I would like to put the hand axe in my prison pocket and
Handle first. Just don't sit down.
Yeah, handle first. No, I'm going to God damn it. What do I do? So if I use... So the mage hand can't carry things that are more than 10
it would
pounds,
be able
correct?
It would be... If you cast Mage Hand, it would be able to carry the hand axe.
Well, no, that's not what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Because if the ogre's on the other side, I would like to cast Mage Hand and nudge or push the pendulum, so as it's swinging down, it gets pushed into the direction of the ogre to take him out.
Okay. Roll a dexterity... Cast Mage Hand, and then roll a dexterity check for me. Or intelligence, whichever one you feel like using.
I don't actually cast Mage Hand. It just says...
Yeah, it's a cantrip. So.
Yeah. It's a cantrip, so you say you cast it.
Oh,
but
okay.
There's no,
I'm looking for a
spell
cast
slot associated. Because it's a cantrip.
The hand can't attack, activate magic items, or carry more than 10 pounds. Okay. So yeah, I cast Mage Hand. Okay. And you want me to do dexterity?
Dexterity or intelligence. It's either going to be how finely you can do this or how smartly you can get the timing down. It's up to you.
Well, definitely not intelligence. That's a -1.
Okay.
Dexterity 15.
15. Okay. So you make your way around the table, and it freaks the living daylights out of Oscar. He actually kind of screams from the corner, seeing you coming towards him. He thinks you're actually coming after him. This pendulum comes back, and let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. I want to make sure I'm rolling from the right person. The ogre takes a step forward to come after you, and you cast your Mage Hand, and as that pendulum comes swinging through, it just nudges it and lines up, and that pendulum comes through and right into the side of the head of the ogre, and there's a grinding sound as the apparatus above you clicks to like a halt, and he's left hanging, kind of leaning on the table with the pendulum in his side, just black ichor running out over the side of him. It gets very quiet suddenly in the room. Oscar panics for maybe 3-4 more seconds and then seems to calm down.
All right, Rabbit, quit cowering. It's done. Let's just get the hell out of here. I'm gonna go back.
What about
down.
them?
He's screwed, but let's take a look at her and... I mean, just by looking at the guy, Callum, right? Just by looking at the guy, would we be able to?
He's a liability.
Even if you were to save him, the amount that's missing, he isn't going to have a life anything better than what he's able to communicate now. Completely up to you whether you want to try and save him. He only seems concerned about his sister.
While I try to help people, I know when it's a losing battle. I'm going to go to her. What's her name? We don't know her name.
Claudia.
Claudia. And I'm going to...
Claudia.
I'm going to... And they're metal shackles as well, right? So I'd have to...
Yep.
I'm going to go down and I'm going to shake her like, hey, wake up.
Nothing from her. At this point, Callum is... Claire. There's just like drool pouring out of his mouth now because he can't close his mouth.
She's a cleric?
Make an insight check.
I'm going to also make an insight check.
Yeah, both
12.
And hope that it's also 12.
Also 12. You guys get the idea that he wants you to take her to a cleric. You don't know why, but he wants you to take her to a cleric. For some reason. Make an Arcana check again, Oscar, now knowing that he wants her taken to a cleric.
12.
12. You think the finger has something to do with it? That you should bring the finger along to the cleric as well, but you can't put it together.
Okay, yeah, I will do while we're trying to figure it out. I'll take the finger and like put it on her forehead and put it in her hand and kind of see if like it's an arcane trigger of some kind. But it sounds like that's not going to do anything.
Yeah, you try desperately to move that down. Bo, you see him taking this finger, this severed finger, and like placing it on her forehead or in her palm or on her belly, on her knee, just various places under the arm, behind the knee, the soft spots of the body, desperately trying to trigger something.
What are you doing?
I don't know. Trying? I think we should get out of here.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Can you carry her?
Yeah. And I'm not sure what you're trying to do with that finger, but don't point that finger at me.
I'd put it in my pocket if I had one.
You stand up, you put her over your shoulder, or what do you do?
Well, actually, Rabbit. What's your name, Rabbit? I don't want to keep calling you Rabbit. This is dumb.
I'm Oscar. Who are you?
I'm Bophadese. Bophadese nuts at your service.
Okay.
Let's check the rooms first. It doesn't pay to move her if we're going to be ambushed.
Yeah, the one room has just a bunch of whispers and body parts. I'm not sure. I don't feel like that's a good move, but let's check the room the guy came from, because I think he was the only one in there. So I'll go look at the room that he came from.
Okay.
If there's another way out of that, windows, doors, anything.
There's another door. Actually, there's two other doors in that room. Judging by what you're seeing, there is a door that leads into the same room where the whispers were, along the west wall, there, in the southwest corner. And then on the north wall, there's another door right in the middle. Your door is in the corner of that room, from the room that you guys woke in. Again, there's a lot of... This looks like a massive butcher's block on the one side of the wall. That rib cage is hanging there. There's a carcass of what looks like to be a cow or something on the butcher's block.
Are there anything we could use as weapons? Daggers, knives, axes? I mean,
there's a light hammer in there, and a chisel that might be able to be used as like a dagger.
Okay, I'll grab the chisel, and I'll ask if Bo wants the hand axe or the hammer.
So the chisel you can put as a dagger, Oscar, and it's a light hammer bow that you could add to your inventory if you want it.
But I have the axe. Do you want to keep the hammer?
I'm not. I'll keep it in the other hand, but I'm not proficient in it, so I may or may not use it. But yes, I will.
Because it's better to have more weapons than you need.
If you're carrying the girl, are you going to be able to carry the crossbow?
Is there a strap on it?
You don't have any more ammunition for it?
I didn't shoot it. I just have one.
Oh yeah, that's right. You didn't shoot it. So you have the one bolt right now. I forgot you didn't shoot it. That's right. You changed your mind.
Does it have a strap so I can sling it over my shoulder, or is it just?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'd be able to throw it over your shoulder. Yeah.
So I'll probably. I guess I'll fireman carrier in, or I'll. Actually, I'll just drag her into each room that we go into. That way, I'm not actually picking her up and setting her down.
Okay.
That way, we can search and do things.
So do you move rooms then, together, into the butcher's room?
Yeah, let's go to the butcher's room.
As you're leaving the room, there's a and me.
Did he just say "and me"?
Yeah,
he did.
Well, I can't carry him.
Wow.
He didn't look like he could stand on his own or move on his own.
He's not
make an insight check. Both of you.
5.
7.
Yeah, you guys think he said "and me."
I'm sorry, friend. We cannot carry you. We'll send help. We'll come back and get you.
He kind of shakes his head.
No? You don't want to come with?
He starts banging his head against the rock behind him. But it looks like he's trying to do damage to himself. He's trying to hurt himself.
Mm-hmm.
Knock himself out or something. And it dawns on you, Bo, that he actually said "end me." Not "and me."
Oh.
He wants to die.
Oh, okay.
You don't realize this, Oscar. Bo realizes this.
Let me borrow
I'm probably checking the door, but
let me borrow your dagger real quick. Or what was it? It was a screwdriver?
Yeah, it's a chisel.
Yeah, chisel. Dagger, chisel hand hammer or light hammer. And...
Let me borrow your chisel.
Okay, I'll check the door going out the north side of that new room.
All right, I'm gonna take the chisel, go over to him, and just because his head's open, I'm just gonna
just put it in there and smash the brain around a little bit.
Yeah.
It goes in very softly, and you move it around, and there's and he kind of gives way, and you pull it out, and there's some brain matter on that dagger that you kind of wipe off and go back and grab his sister to drag her into the next room.
When I pass Oscar again, I'll hand him back his chisel.
Okay, well, you go in that other room, and Oscar's got the other door open. You've stepped in here. Oscar, it is amazingly cold in here, and it reminds you of when you had your frostbite. And hanging from several hooks in here, this is a meat locker. There is chilled, frozen meat, it seems, based on what you know, that there's an arcane spell or something holding this room at this temperature.
And any other ways out?
It's hard to see. There's a lot of fog and a lot of hunks of meat hanging. Do you go exploring? Let me tell you,
Uh,
before you go exploring, you hear like shuffle, thud, thud, and a low every once in a while. Like there might be something walking around in here with you.
This is creepy. I'll cast create bonfire on the like as far into the room as I can see that there's open space on the floor, and hopefully see better in there.
Okay, go ahead and create bonfire in the middle of the floor.
Yeah. So it's a cantrip, so
Yep.
I'll
So
do that.
Yep, you create the bonfire in the middle of the floor, and there's a and then like a thud slide, and then you hear like dunk dunk dunk, like something hollow hitting rock repeatedly. It lights up better. There's probably between 20 and 30 slabs of meat hanging up in here, various sizes. Looking at them, not all of them look like they're like cow or deer. Some of them look humanoid. It's unsettling. In the corners, you see like baskets that have like thighs, like human thighs piled in, like cut at the knee and the hip, like you'd eat a chicken leg, but just piled in a basket there for storage. There's a whole nother basket nearby it's just fingers in the basket. It's just a basket of fingers sitting over there.
Do I see a creature or anything walk into the light?
You see nothing walk into the light. Looking, you think you see a door in the southeast corner of this room. Whatever it is on the northern wall somewhere. What you hear.
Okay. I will. If Bo is in the room behind me, then I'll tell him what I see and ask him if he prefers a cold room or a room full of whispers. Both of them have body parts, though. Hey, Bophadese rooms have body parts.
Both of these rooms. That's great. That is great.
So,
All right. I'm just looking around. Bophadese is kind of guarding Claudia. Really unnerved by all the bodies. I'm gonna shudder and just kind of say out loud, "Ugh, I hate this shit."
There's baskets in this room, being the butcher's room, that have the insides and the heads and the unusable limbs of some creatures. Cow's legs, hooves, horns, stuff kind of piled in the baskets in the corners of the butcher's room.
Let's keep moving.
all right.
Which way are you going?
I'm just gonna follow. I'm gonna keep following Oscar.
All right. I think Oscar would take a creature that's moving versus a bunch of disembodied whispers. At least that's what he's thinking. So I think head into the cold room and aim beeline for the door that he sees
Okay.
on the southeastern.
How long does your bonfire last?
Minute.
A minute. So you step back into this room as your bonfire kind of douses, and the panic kind of subsides in whatever it was, and then it resumes a very steady, rhythmical Thump. Thump. Thump.
I will cast it again right in between me and the sound.
Right between you and the sound. So you cast it. It's kind of moving westward along the north wall, and you cast it in between you and the sound, and it yells again and starts running to the northwest corner. And you can see in the northwest corner there's a zombie that it seems to be afraid of fire, and it's running itself into the corner, repeatedly bashing its head against the corner.
Okay, I can deal with that. Let's there's a zombie in here, but he's afraid of the fire, so let's go. And I'm not even gonna check the door. I'm just gonna go ahead and open it wide.
Okay, open it wide. I need a dexterity saving throw from you.
The one I don't check. Okay, this will be interesting. So it's an 11, but if I fail, I do have an ability that I can add to it.
Okay, that is a failure.
Okay, I will use my ability then.
Which is?
It's a Herringon thing. Oh, I'm on the wrong screen. That's why. It is called Lucky Footwork. When I fail a dex saving throw, I can use my reaction to roll a d4 and add it to the save, potentially turning failure into a success.
Okay, you're going to need a 4.
It looks like a 3.
Oh.
It's a 3. 14 total.
14 total. You reach your hand, you hear a click as you turn the doorknob, and you go to pull your paw away as you go to turn it, but this blade comes out of the door frame and slices your hand off.
Oh.
Off. That's not good for a...
Oh.
Roll a d6 for me.
Five.
Okay, that's the damage you take from losing your hand. You are bleeding. Unless you stop the bleeding, every minute you're going to take a d4 of damage.
All right. Let me do this first. Constitution saving throw for the concentration on the bonfire.
Okay.
That's a fail. So the bonfire goes out.
Suddenly gets very dark in this room.
Yeah, yes. The bonfire is concentration. Yep. I guess I'm going to try to cauterize the wound with the bonfire.
You're going to start another bonfire and shove your hand in it?
I don't have anything else. We don't have any way to heal. Like, bandages or...
Well, I can heal you, but I'm not in that room yet. You ran ahead.
Yeah, you are.
Oh,
you're following them. Yeah,
well,
you guys went together.
Oh, okay.
And it's dark again. My
Come here, rabbit.
All right, I will pick up my hand with my other hand and walk over and see if he can do anything about it.
You know you aren't going to be able to reattach the hand. You know that just looking at it, Bo. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on him, and...
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's good. To either way.
1 point of curing.
Oh, isn't there a bonus to it, or no?
Oh, it's 1d8 minus 1.
He's got a minus 1
1.
because of his wisdom.
So he tries to do it, and the magic kind of hits your hand, and it doesn't really do anything. It continues to steadily just push some blood out with your heartbeat. You're getting a little lightheaded there, Oscar.
I'm going to.
So the Cure Wounds
have to cast.
Cure Wounds didn't do anything?
No. Oh, well, it was 1d8 minus 1. You rolled a 1, so that's 0. It did nothing.
It was 1
No,
point.
it was 1. It was 1 point. It was
2.
Oh, it was 1 point?
2 minus 1.
Yeah.
So it slows the bleeding a little bit, but it does not. It's still bleeding. You don't see the pumping of the blood from your heartbeat anymore as that slowly subsides, but it's still bleeding, and it is not coated over at all.
I figure I've got a small amount of time. I at least want to... Did the door open then?
The door did swing open, but when the fire went out, you heard the zombie, and his pace has picked up, and you hear him hitting pieces of meat, and there's creaking of the swing of chains as he seems to be trying to find you guys now.
Go, go, go,
All
go,
right.
go, go, go. Let's go through the door. We can shut it.
Okay, we go through the door really fast and then shut it.
Okay. You make your way, you go through the door, you shut the door behind you. And it slams, and you actually hear him as you kind of take a breath, you hear him, and there's, like, he eventually hits the door, and he's kind of like he was banging into the corner on the other side. You are still bleeding.
All right. What's in the room that we're in? Or is it too dark to see?
You're at a landing. There's a set of stairs going upward from here to a door above. There's like what looks to be like a frosted window up above.
So currently we have nothing to use as a bandage or any other medicinal purposes.
Correct. Unless you want to take off like your loincloth and shove it on there.
Does Claudia is she fully dressed?
No, actually she's naked. There's nothing on her. Not a stitch on her.
All right. I'll deal with it later. So I'll cast Create Bonfire to give more light in the room, make sure we didn't miss anything. And if nothing is readily at hand, no cabinets, no drawers, no anything, I will stick my arm into the bonfire to stop the bleeding.
Okay, roll a d6 for the burn damage.
So it's a d8 for if you actually attack with bonfire. So,
this is a d6. This is fire damage.
Okay.
You're setting yourself on fire. That's what you're doing.
It's a 5. So
it's a 5. It's excruciating, but it is in there well enough that when you pull your hand out,
oops, wrong way.
You are completely cauterized. Your wrist is completely cauterized. It's a good thing you didn't roll like a 1 because you wouldn't have done enough damage to cauterize yourself. But you are cauterized now. You have your hand in one hand. Your lucky rabbit foot.
And a thumb.
And a finger. And a human finger. You kind of got both of those.
And a chisel. I obviously dropped the hand or the light hammer because that's not helpful to me.
Yep. So you're trying to carry a finger. You're carrying a finger and your paw in the one hand, and then you have the chisel in there as well because you don't have another hand to hold anything.
All right.
Drop the hand, rabbit.
I'm also at 5 hit points, so I don't know if we could theoretically take a short rest, but this doesn't feel like a place that we take short rests in.
This is a staircase. No, this is not a good place to take a short rest.
The staircase goes up?
Yep.
Are there any windows or anything indicating if we are in a basement or if we would be going up to a second story?
There is light coming through a window upstairs, through a frosted window at the top of the stairs on the landing.
That sounds like a possible exit.
Might have been in a basement.
At least let's get up to ground level then.
I'm gonna pick her up to go up the stairs. I'm gonna say let's go up.
Okay, so you climb up the stairs. It's creaky and slow moving, but you get up the stairs. The window is like 3 feet by 3 feet. Glass. It's not frosted. It's actually just that dirty.
Okay, can I wipe the window and see what's outside?
You can't reach the window. It's like 10 feet off the ground.
Oh. Can I cast prestidigitation on the window?
Sure, if you want to.
I would like to do that. It does not have a material component.
Okay.
And I still have one hand.
Perfect.
Can I tell based on the amount of light then, like at least what kind of day or what time of day? What kind of day or time of day?
Clear the window away. It is fall. It is dark. It is cloudy. But you're guessing midday at some point. That the night may be... It's probably mid to late afternoon, you're guessing. Like it may be getting dark soon.
Rabbit, do you want me to throw you up onto the windowsill?
I, self-preservation says yes. The interest of the party says no. Because if I can get out, that means you guys are probably stuck here.
Well, if you can get out, you can go for help. Assuming it's not a 60-foot drop.
Where are we even? Like, where's help?
All right, so I'm gonna.
Do you know anything?
I'm gonna put her down because I'm like a 7-foot tall dragonborn. Like I'm big.
Yep.
So
you set her down on the landing.
Mm-hmm.
Something you're looking at this window behind you. There's a door. There's the door at the top of the stairs.
I'm still.
There is the sound of what sounds like skittering rats
Oh, ew.
on the other side.
I'm just gonna pick Oscar up anyways and hold him up over my head so he can look out the window, or so he can
Okay.
at least, attempt to look out. Because if he's that big, he should be able to at least peek his eyes over.
Yep, you can look out, Oscar. You're at about ground level. The leaves are all gone from the trees. It's outside. It's like a wooded area. A very dark. You don't see any roads. But yeah, it
I'll
doesn't seem
just
to be a
grab
town
all
either.
that.
Yeah.
What do you see?
I think we're in a cabin in the woods. I don't think there's gonna be much for help out there.
Her. Can you get out? Can you free yourself?
I can try.
I'm gonna kind of like a cheerleader. You know how you kind of give the extra push up. I'm gonna bring him down and then shove him up.
Can I try to shatter the window with the chisel?
Sure. It's going to take a dexterity check to do so. Because you're holding a hand, a finger, and a chisel.
That's true. Natural 20.
Nat 20.
For 20.
When he shoves you up, you kind of toss the hand and the finger up, grab the chisel, and smash the window, which it shatters outward, and catch the hand and the finger in your one hand. You think you can actually climb out this window now. On the other side of the door, there was a kind of and a bunch of feet stomping on floors, wooden floors above you, moving around out there.
Okay, I will crawl out the window.
Make a dexterity dexterity check as you try and avoid the broken glass.
Yeah, I kind of need to avoid some broken glass here. 18.
18. Yeah, you slide out this window. You land softly on the overgrown dead grass outside the window, and you kind of peek your head back in.
Okay. I'll look around outside, make sure there's no threats outside. Like nobody saw what happened.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there are any threats outside. There are a couple other buildings that you can see. Like 2 that you can see from where you're at.
Do they look like outbuildings? Like additional residences, or more like sheds, barns, kind of?
Additional residences / businesses, maybe. There's a shed in the back off, and there's a small, what looks like a lot where the woods start actually being woods.
Okay. I will then just look back in the window and see what's going on with the noises.
The buildings themselves are all very, very run-down, old, broken-down buildings. It looks like a severely overgrown, old town that time forgot. You peek back in. There is now some beating on the door behind you, Bo. But the door does not seem to be giving way.
I am going to pick her up and attempt to kind of throw her shove her up to the window.
All right.
Okay.
As he's doing that, can I clear the remaining glass out of the way?
Yeah, you can break some of that glass as he's trying to pick her up. Are you going to assist him at all in bringing her through the window?
I'll try to pull her through. My strength isn't much, but I can try to ease her through.
Okay. You can use dexterity if you like, because you're trying to ease it. You said you're trying to ease her through. You're trying to put her through.
Mm-hmm.
Two of you combined. One of you make a strength check. Bo, you make a dexterity check. Oscar, as you're both pushing and maneuvering her through.
10.
19.
19. So here's what happens: is Bo shoves up on her and gets her lifted up, but not gracefully at all. And she's about to slide down on near one of the pieces of glass that you hadn't been able to clear away yet, Oscar. But you're able to turn her body and stuff and get her to land on her side on where the windowsill was cleared of glass. And then the two of you are able to pull her through. The door is being beat on severely. Bo, you're the only one left in this place right now in the building. What would you like to do? Sounds like another entity has joined the first one outside the door.
Can I jump myself? Like,
You can jump. Yeah. You want to jump and try and climb out?
yeah.
You need a strength athletics check to climb out the window.
Natty 1
You can do
for
it.
3.
So you go up and you get your hands up there and you're pushing up there, and the door, as a third entity joins, slams open and hits you in the back. Take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as this door hits you in the back. I need you to make a strength saving throw as you were hanging onto the lip.
10.
10. You are able to hang on just barely, like your fingers just slip and you're just hanging on. Go ahead and make another athletics check to try and climb out with this door on your back.
8. Nope, 11.
8.
I lied.
11. You're actually able to find purchase for your foot. You don't gain any space about getting out. You find purchase for your foot, and a arm comes up and swipes at the back of your calf. You take 6 points of slashing damage as this first creature swings at you. Go ahead and make another strength athletics check to get out of here.
Can I assist and try to pull on him?
Yes, you can. At this point, you climb up from underneath her body and assist him. So you have advantage.
All right, so 7 and
Please roll better than a 7.
10.
10. You keep pushing and kicking, and you are able to kick and get your body up out of the hole, but you take another point of slashing damage as another one of these creatures scrapes against your back, and you're pulled out onto the ground. The two of you are there. You turn, you gather up her body, and where do you head in this moment as these zombies are climbing up the door and all trying to get out this window at the same time, screaming and clawing and swinging at you? And we will stop right there.
Yeah. Place to hide, place to hide, place to hide.
Yeah, right. That's good. That's great storytelling.
Oh, man.
Holy shit.
I'd be willing to bet that if Beth and Scott are listening, they're like, yep, Jeff has another character that lost a body part.
That was fun.
Oh, that was good.
The music was so good too. The sound effects the whole time was just great. I love it. Oh, it was fun.
All right.
Well, you're outside of the building now. So
Well, that's something.
All right, we are Two Nerds One Quest. We are here every Sunday morning, 8:30 a.m. Central Time. We will probably pick this story back up in 2 weeks when Cooch is gone again. Does that sound accurate?
I don't remember when it is, but
the weekend of the 14th. That's
okay. So 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
So the next 2 weeks will be Two Nerds One Quest proper. And then we'll pick this story back up when Cooch is out again. And yeah, I get a big Resident Evil vibe from this. Yep. Have you been playing
Kind of what I
Resident
was
Evil?
going for. I wanted a Halloween spooky thing.
Oh.
I love that you quickly went to the other music to unsettle the mood or rewrite the mood and just shake it off. And then lets me know I did my shit right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's creep. So this will be going up into the feed. So this will be labeled properly. Like I said, Sunday mornings, 8:30 a.m. Central Time. 2 Nerds 1 Quest. You can follow us anywhere. 2 Nerds 1 Quest. All of our links are in bit.ly/
Gonna have to remember that one.
Oh crap! Our cool Discord, I think, or our fun Discord. I think it's bit.ly/ our fun Discord. If somebody wants to check that real quick and fact check me. Let other people know you can support us. Let other people know the show. Give us ratings wherever you get your podcasts from. If you have not and you've been in the channel, go ahead and click the heart button. Follow the channel. Get notified when we go live. We look forward. Big thank you to, I saw Corn the Llama in here. He is, I have not seen his name in here before, so that was very cool that he was able to join us, and he seemed to have fun. He, she, it, they.
Welcome. They.
Not sure. But they seem to have fun, so thank you for popping in and enjoying the show. Cooch, thanks for popping in and listening, even though you weren't able to be here. We look forward to talking to you again next Sunday. So for me, for JC, and for the Lazy Dragon Genius, we'll catch you next week.
Hey, Bo,
We've got
need
12.
a hand?
We've got 12. We've got 12 hit points between us.